Top of the afternoon, folks. Captain Liam here. Just trying to add a couple of people here. Request to join. Happy check-in Tuesday. How's things? Hope everyone's well. If you want to join, just press request to join. Well, an invite. Yacht Investor, an invite. Do I have someone there already, do I?
Captain Liam, how are you?
You're quick on your fingers there, brother.
Always. I'm ready.
How are you, mate?
Fantastic. Yeah. So today we're speaking about wellness.
Oh, we need more of it. We need more of it.
Always.
Are
There's
you?
Captain Kelly. How's it
Hello,
going?
hello.
Wow, blessed. How are you, dear?
Yeah, how are you? It's so good to see you.
Yeah, well, where's Alex though? What are you
You
doing
know,
for Alex?
I'm
I'm
just,
down in the office.
I always thought you were talking about my Alex.
Oh, you're Alex. Yeah, how's he? Is he in Florida? Where are you guys?
You see, I'm dressed for it's 40 something degrees here. It was 47 degrees this morning when I walked out the door.
It's
Wow.
crazy. That's beautiful,
Yeah,
isn't it? The fresh
yeah,
air.
I know. And the dog was wound up this morning.
I'm sure. I'm
I'm
sure.
wearing
Yeah,
a hoodie for the first time in a long time, which is quite
right?
nice.
It feels good.
I'm
Yeah.
always pretending to be warm. That's why I wear my tropical shirts, I guess, and my bridal hat. I'm like, I'm feeling the energy.
That's awesome.
Well, welcome to Check-In Tuesdays there, Captain Kelly. I think you were one of the original founders.
I think I was. Oh my God, that's crazy. And look at you. You've just run with it and you're doing a freaking awesome job. I so love what you're doing.
No, we're doing it together, dear. We're doing it together. It's for the crew. It's for the industry.
It is, man. We need to make the change. We need to see we're seeing the change. What's you know what? That's so exciting. I was just at Flips and for the first time my talks shifted from, you know, we need to make the change to we are making the change. So it's really cool to see everything on in the industry.
Yep, got to keep moving forward. Hey, Captain Scott, how are you, buddy? Can you hear us, Captain Scott?
Oh, we can't hear you, Scott.
That's all right. I just got a message here from Travis Dutal. It's snowing on my boat in New York.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh
Send us an
Lord.
image. Love to see that.
Yeah. What's it like with? We're in Seattle on the Unbridled here. It's going. Hopefully, it doesn't snow. But what's it like there? Can you hear us yet, Scott? Nah. Anyway, we'll roll with it. We kick off. I know people's time's valuable, but yeah, wellness. It's a big topic. We had red flags last week, Captain Kelly, and then we decided to talk about wellness, and it brought up a lot of things. But we kind of started with 5 pillars, which were for me mental, physical, financial, and then also social and environmental. We want to start off with mental because you're the founder of Yachty Minds Matter. You're in this space. You're present. You're fighting. Um, what's your take on mental wellness or emotional fitness? Or what's your little summary? How does it change the crew dynamic?
Well, first of all, thank you for giving me the recognition. That's really freaking cool. But I was thinking about it coming into it because I give a lot of thought to when I'm invited to these things, and it was like, how do I want to come into this? And I wanted to share a very personal experience. I'm kind of sick right now. I'm under the weather. I don't know if you can hear the stuffiness,
Okay.
but I've got a cold. I've got a sore throat. My face feels like somebody's just mashed me with a baseball bat. And it dawned on to me last night
Doesn't look
that
like
I'm
it.
sick because I'm stressed.
Yeah.
And I'm stressed because I'm not taking care of myself. As much as I preach it,
So you're taking
I
care of everyone else, Kelly.
well, yeah, and that's, as much as I've been preaching it for these many years now about taking care of crew, I kind of thought, whoa, maybe we need to talk about the captains here for a little bit because I'm not practicing what I preach, and I'm sick because I've gotten so stressed and I'm working my tail off. And so mental wellness is so important. Mental health, mental wellness, it's and taking care of yourself. And I know Super Yacht Fitness is supposed to be in the house, and them even talking about the physical aspect of it. And so I was thinking it's really I'm not practicing what I'm preaching. And
True.
I wanted to kind of calm myself down on it. And I wanted to talk about how important it is to really take care of yourself because, and then it's a big cycle, right? Then you don't feel good. Then you get bummed out. Then you're stressed. And it's which came first, the chicken or the egg.
Yes.
So I think everything that you're talking about, it all goes hand in hand. But I do want to digress for a second to where when we just first jumped on here is I'm so excited just to see really for the first time in the last maybe call it 3-4 months is the conversations are changing from we got to do something, we got to do something, we got to do something to oh hey, Cayman flag states coming out with a guidance note on sexual assault and harassment. There's another flag state getting involved with making changes. More and more people are supporting Yachting Minds Matter. More and more people are using it. So like the change is really happening. I mean, yes, we have a long way to go,
Yeah.
but it's
Most
happening.
definitely.
So I thought it's important to share the positive that, sometimes you get so in this loop of what the industry is not doing right, but it's change is being made and I'm
Yeah.
excited about it.
Yeah. And then, can you hear us, Captain Scott? Have we got you
Yeah,
there?
I can hear you. Thanks,
Welcome,
guys.
brother. Welcome, brother. We're
Yeah,
talking
man.
about mental wellness and fitness. But Captain Kelly, good point. But what are the signs then, and what do you do? So, what are the signs of, like you're saying, you're tired, you're a bit snuffy. What are the? You sound great. You look great, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
But what are the
Thank you.
signs, and then what do you do? What's your little getaway? Is it walking the dog or having a boat dog? What's your?
She's right
Oh,
there.
Perfect.
She's been the greatest addition to some of you are probably saying, well, not all of us can have a boat dog, and that's definitely true. But I tell you what, she's been the greatest addition to the crew. And it's, yesterday she just came up to me and just full on leaned on me, like right into me, like I hear you, mom. And
Nice.
so, you asked what are the signs, I mean, we hear people talk about them, the withdrawing, not maybe withdrawing from the crew, maybe not seeming to working as hard as what they normally do, or unfortunately, some people resort to, drugs and alcohol, and sadness. You can simply see some of your cruise members are just simply sad. Changes in behavior, them not engaging like they normally do. And I think that's a big one is engagement. When you see, hey, this person's not really acting like their normal selves.
yeah,
And I think a lot of us dismiss it and they're like, oh, maybe they're just having a bad day. Or, you know what, they've been a little weird lately. You know what, maybe dig a little deeper. Ask why. Because there's usually something going on, and my crew, even myself, they're good about asking me, what's up with, and they'll joke with me, what's up with the look on your face?
Some of
Are
your
you all
face.
right? You know, but I think the biggest one with crew is noticing the change in their routine, the change in their personality, and that very well tells you something's going on. I had a crew member just blatantly tell me the other day, well, I'll just say it, it's my chief engineer, my hardcore 52 years old, strong Latin man says, I'm stressed.
yeah.
And in 5 years, I've never heard that come out of his mouth.
Lovely.
And I perked up and I was like, okay, it's time to listen. And so in the crew meeting this morning, I shared with my crew, I said, hey guys, Alex said he's stressed,
Yeah,
and so that they can all plug that in the back of their mind and they can know to watch out for him, because he's got a lot going on with his mother and things like that. And um, so sometimes people will just tell you, and if they do blatantly tell you like that, don't dismiss it. Um, don't pass it on.
yeah, exactly. Be a support network, and that's what a crew is about. The crew is like a family, and it's also the support network outside the group. So, what about yourself, Captain? Thank you for sharing that, Captain Kelly. What about yourself, Captain Scott? What's your key to staying calm and positive and in your zen? Because you look like a Buddha in a laugh life. Sometimes.
Well, a lot of times just know when to walk away. Like
Opt-out policy. The opt-out
Yeah,
policy.
yeah.
Not
All right,
interested.
I'll be in my room.
Yeah, exactly.
No, just when you are feeling stressed and stuff, and Kelly, I'm sorry you're feeling sick and everything, but I bet your dog came and leaned on you a couple of days ago, knew you were getting stressed and you were gonna get under some animals have a habit of doing that, and we can be in tune with that a little easier. But to piggyback on what she was saying, that you just try to check in with everybody, and you got to check in with yourself and like how you're every morning, kind of say, how am I feeling this today, or how am I at the end of the day, how am I feeling, like what did I do, what can I do to de-stress this, or just kind of maybe
Yeah,
I need to let this go. You got to kind of really be critical of yourself, but not be hard on yourself. Just kind of just say, okay, what do I need to do better? What do I need actually? Who can I reach out to that can help me? And I've learned that the hard way, that trying to do it myself, trying to figure it out, but instead, like, hey, maybe I need to call somebody and talk to somebody.
yeah. But we're also to blame as leaders.
Yeah,
And Alex, you're a leader in the industry, Alex, in your own right. You've been through the ranks and everyone sees you at the boat shows. But Captain Kelly and Captain Scott, as captains, as leaders, we create the stress a lot of times,
yeah,
Yeah,
And
that's
we're
true.
the guilty one.
yeah,
We get our own stress, but we create stress for crew that we don't recognize. And sometimes on umbrella, they're like, Cap, we got it. It's just back
yeah,
off.
yeah,
Yeah, all right, cool.
yeah,
Well,
I know I'm bringing in heat.
learning to stay in your lane as a captain, even, right? Letting your crew
yeah.
do their. I was just
Don't
trying
put your
to,
hands on it. Don't
yeah,
put your
mentor
hands on
another captain, saying, "Hey, let them do their thing. They got it.
it.
Like they run the show. They know what they're doing." So you're right. Sometimes we take that on ourselves. But Scott, I think cutting yourself some slack, giving yourself a break, saying, you know
Yeah,
what,
that's
I may be the captain, but
yeah,
that doesn't mean I have superhuman powers, even though we like to think that we do.
yeah, yeah,
And cut yourself some slack.
yeah. I've learned to do that and just kind of say, sometimes you just got to look back at what you accomplished the day and just say, hey, I'm doing okay. We're doing all right. We did good today. We'll do good tomorrow.
At least a
And you'd be
1%
surprised.
increase.
You'd be surprised how well that makes you feel.
What
Just
about you,
like
Alex? What's your little go-to there, just to wrap up in mental health and mental fitness?
For me, you know, I can be so overwhelmed with all the things I have to take care of. A lot of people reaching out to me for different reasons. And then sometimes I lose track of what it is that I want. And that's when I kind of spin around and I'm like, okay, what do I actually want to go towards? And I think having a definite chief aim or a definite chief purpose is definitely a go-to. It puts everything aside, puts everything in perspective and into focus. For instance, the Monaco Yacht Show. When I was going to the Monaco Yacht Show, I was like, okay, I need flights, I need accommodation, and I need a reason to be there. And when I put all of that together, wrote down what my goals were, everything else fell away. I didn't have time to be stressed. I was too busy to be stressed.
Yeah,
And I knew what I had to work on every single day. And that was great. And I noticed when I don't have that definite chief purpose or chief aim, that's when the stress starts to fill in, you know,
true. When you're trying to fill the gaps. Anyway,
when
we
you're
better
trying
yeah,
to fill the
roll it because
gaps.
wellness is a big one, and we could go on for each of these topics.
We could. Oh my God, we could beat this one up
I
for a
know.
while, couldn't we?
And there's a lot of people joining, and if you see any questions, just ask Alex or anyone too. But with wellness, we want to shout out to Yachting Minds Matter. It's an awesome community that Captain Kelly's put together. We've also got Ice One, which, Marathon of Mental Health recently, Crew Coach, Seize the Mind. Is there any others I've missed in this group that you think?
um, I know Devlin started All Safe Yachting, the one with the
Oh, yep.
panic button, and
Yep.
it also has a mental health app, which I think if you're afraid if you don't want to talk to anybody, you can talk to the app. But if you really need an actual professional, it can arrange that for you too.
And a good name
Just
too, Devlin. I mean, a bias.
yeah, yeah,
Start with Yachty Minds Matter for now. So next,
yeah,
you're not feeling well, you're feeling broken down. My father always said, toughen up, son.
yeah, yeah.
Go for a run. So
Walk it off.
what do we talk about when we talk about wellness in terms of fitness? Because on board, it's impossible to get a routine. Like Captain Scott and I see each other. We're going for a walk today. You're in St. Martin, and I'm
Yeah.
in wherever I am, and I'm like, a new area, new streets, dirty roads. So what's our go-to fitness tip or fitness method you use to keep yourselves kind of balanced or get out of that headspace? And I'll start with the ladies in the room, Captain Kelly.
Walking the dog, taking her
Oh,
out in the shipyard and playing with her and chasing her around. And the coolest thing was the other day, we're in the shipyard again. I looked up and all my crew were out in the middle of the shipyard, right in the middle of traffic, with Clark playing soccer.
cool.
And they didn't think she could pick the soccer ball up. She picked it up and she hauled ass across the shipyard, and the whole crew's chasing her. So that was really cool. And I hate to keep going back to her, but this is what's real life for me is walking the dog. A lot of times the crew will play with them. A couple of the girls like to go to the gym that the town of Palm Beach Marina offers off site after work. So I would say we're probably batting about 75% of the crew do well with their fitness, and the other part, not so much, and I'm guilty.
It's a start, though. It's not easy.
Today's my day of
Yeah,
confessions, I think.
into that space and have the time. You know what I mean? What about yourself, Captain Scott? What's your mental, kind of physical wellness, and how do you bring it in? How do you see it?
A lot of times, it's just to going for the walk or a run if I can, if we're somewhere where we can, if we're on anchor or something like that. I have these calisthenics and stuff like that I do. I'm lucky I have my rooms accommodates to where if I want to do 20 minutes or 15 minutes of calisthenics or something like that. I do my breathing every day, and sometimes I do it twice a day, depending on how much I need to walk away.
It's
But
funny, the you get the
I
more
mean,
zone into just breathing. Like, I'm just breathing, okay? Leave me alone.
yeah,
I'm breathing.
just telling myself to breathe right, like breathe through my nose and stuff, and calm down. That's a real major thing for
Yeah,
me. But we're lucky enough, I think, a lot of marinas now providing like some sort of health space.
yeah,
Some time of if we're at the marina, a lot of them have some type of small gym or some kind of workout area. And that's generally I try to encourage the crew as much as possible to, if we have downtime, just get off the boat as much as you possibly can.
yeah. Yeah, I always say too, pay it forward. We're going to sea next week, so let's try and do something. Take an extra half day off work, knock up early Fridays. But Wave Wellness just joined us, and Xanthi is a wonderful program. I think it's a membership per month for the crew where you get mental, physical, financial advice. So huge shout out to Wave Wellness. And then the Tooth Fairy Travels, whoever that is asking for help. Asking for help is something we as HR departments need to learn. Good advice there, because we're at HR departments. We're all
Yeah.
head of departments. As a captain, I'm head of a bigger department, but we're all there. But I have a really over-reliance or a high reliance on my head of departments on Unbridled because, number one, they've come through a lot of storms with me. They've gone through the highs and through the lows, and they understand the crew culture I'm trying to build. So that's why the heads of the department, it's really important you have a really good open communication with your captain to establish goals and parameters. What about you, Mr. Fitness? Alex? Those
For me,
big muscles, those big guns you showed me last week at the boat show?
For me, my go-to is martial arts. Big
Wow.
fan of boxing and Muay Thai. I've recently focused more on Muay Thai just because of the group of people that are involved in that. And I'd say that going into the ring, when you've got to spar up against somebody, you've got to pay extra special attention and focus. You can't get distracted. So it's
Oh,
great for focus. You forget about everything else. You prove that you are not made out of glass, and keeps you fit and flexible, and teaches you some useful skills as
so it's
well.
kind of
So I'd say
physical and mental. It does keep you balanced.
both. Definitely very mental because you got to stay sharp, focused. You don't want to get hit, and your goal is to make sure the other person doesn't get you, and you got
Well,
to
if I
hit
see you
them.
with a black eye, I'll know it. But for me, though, for whatever it's worth, I think I'm going to be vulnerable. I tried yoga for the first time, team. Beautiful people. I went down
Yoga's amazing.
to Mexico with my
Nice.
mother and tried to do yoga for 2 or 3 days, a bit longer, and it was exceptional. I really cannot recommend it. It's like it combines breathing with physical movement where you're trying to bring an alignment to yourself and forward. Impossible to focus for me, though. My mind doesn't stop. My mouth doesn't stop. And it was really hard.
I
It's
was
part of
gonna
the
say,
process.
did you get frustrated at the yoga? Because I did, because I'm like, you're telling me to breathe, you're telling me to
Yeah.
relax and get out of my mind, and I'm thinking about my to-do list, and you're telling me to shut my brain off, and I'm like, yeah, this is a really good idea. Yeah, so I had a mental battle on the yoga floor with myself and the yoga.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not
Well,
about shutting your mind off. It's about observing what's going on
Observing,
in your
yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
It's a workout meditation, basically,
yeah.
focusing on the
Well, my first
movement,
guru is Captain
etc.
Scott, who told me about the breathing, Captain Kelly. So Scott lives a yogi life, we say, because he's
Well,
breathing.
I try to, but I do a lot of the yoga stretches, and I used to do kung fu a long time ago, and all of those Asian uh, arts or martial arts and stuff, they always teach you how to breathe first.
Yeah.
So
So,
if you focus on breathing through your nose, you'd be surprised how quickly your brain and everything calms down. And you can do these exercises called somatics, which like if you're bunched up like this, you're going to be in kind of a fight or flight mode. You're going to feel tense. But if you go like this and you stretch out, and your body and your brain knows there's no threat, so that you're naturally relaxed, and your breathing will slow down, your brain will slow down, everything will slow down.
cool. All right, we've survived the mind, mental wellness. We're ready. We've done some yoga. We've walked the dog. We've done some, it's not kung fu, is it, Alex? It's
Muay
Muay
Thai.
Thai,
Muay Thai.
I
Okay.
used to do kung fu actually. Yeah.
And
yeah, I did
a
as well. I
lot of,
loved
lot
it.
of breathing. So if anyone's got any other tips down there for
Ca-
physical wellness.
Captain Liam, you had a great quote which you should share with the audience here about breathing and the mind. Could you share that
Yeah,
again?
it was the mind is the king of everything, or the master of everything, but your breath is the king or the master of the mind. And it comes from like anxiety or pressure or stress.
Yeah,
They just breathe. And sometimes I see the crew, I'm like, just take some breaths, Steve. Just take some.
yeah,
Sometimes people are too stressed to just breathe, you know?
Yeah, they
yeah,
are,
So
but that's where Captain Scott advised, like there's box breathing. So it's 4 seconds, correct? Do you want to run us through
yeah,
one? We got time for one, Scott?
yeah.
yeah,
It's
let's do it.
4 seconds in, 4 second pause, 4 seconds out, 4 second pause, and you just keep doing that until you feel calm. You can do it for several minutes, and you'd be surprised. They do it in the military. They do a lot of organizations recommend it, and
The
I,
sharpshooters use it
yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
they actually do it quite a lot
Snipers.
because there's a special way they breathe before they take a shot as well, so that they don't change
But we
their
can have the
perspective.
precision chamois experts out there. Like, I'll be watching the deck crew with their chamois going, just taking my breath, Cap, and just taking
Yeah.
go.
Well,
Why
you
don't we
know,
do? Is it possible that we can do a quick box breath exercise,
sure,
Captain
let's do
Scott?
it.
You want to everyone together? Let's all do it
Okay,
together.
so somebody's gonna have to count.
I'll
We'll
use my
go
fingers.
and always through the nose, and that'll keep you calm. So we'll start now.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. That's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, 4.
4. Just running out of breath then. No, but it does
Couldn't do
work.
it. I'm plugged up, guys. I've got a
Ah!
cold. You
You
trying to
know,
make me pass out?
you
You
know,
pass out.
if you breathe through one side and then through the other, and do that straight for several minutes, do the box breathing in and out through there. It'll clear your nose if you do it. It'll take about 5 minutes. You can also do the coherence breathing where it syncs up your mind and your heart. You do 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out, and you can just keep doing it through your nose until it goes clear. It will get clear. It might get a little hectic, but depending on how congested you are and if you have some other
Advanced stuff.
physical
Thanks.
damage there.
Yeah.
So
Especially for those with the flu. Hey, Captain Kelly, are also
yeah,
suffering it for the last couple of
Well, Chris
days.
Cole, he joined us last week. I don't know who Chris Cole is, but hello, Chris. He says wearing a nasal strips help a lot with your breathing, etc. So use a
yeah.
So we're going to see a Decky out there doing his breaths with nasal strips. I'm looking forward to the new generation of yachting.
It's like Alex Amosi who
Yeah,
is the brand and the
as long as he
strips.
doesn't wear the strips on charter, I guess.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Oh, I can't wait to see it with the dog. Like as long as you're happy. In the end of the day,
Yeah, yeah.
got to be happy. The results will come. So we're going on. We've eased our mind. We're feeling better. Super Yacht Fitness is trying to join, but we'll do a whole interview with him because he's a great guy and good products. But we're going to talk about financial wellness. So how do we we've got our money, we've got our paycheck, and what do we do? Straight to the local store. We get a watch. We get some shoes. We
Yeah.
spend our money. We do a course, and we've got nothing left.
Casino.
So that's the reality, correct? Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm waiting on you to take it, Scott. But this takes me
Yeah.
back to a video that I did a couple of years ago where I just told crew, the words came out so much better then than now. But basically, it was to remind you that you are not the owner. So let's not
Yep.
take that $4,000 tip and go splurge on a new handbag because you're not the owner. And I even when we were chartering really hard in the Bahamas. I had someone call me out once for asking my chief officer who said he wanted to go over to Atlantis. I asked him, I said, how much money do you have in your pocket? And somebody heard that and said, well, it's none of your business. And I was like, at the time, he's like 21 years old. And I just handed him his portion of the tip was like $4,000. And I said, I wished when I was his age, which I did have a wonderful mother helping me with, teaching me about finances and stuff. But I said, I bet there's a lot of people that wished at his age they had someone like me saying, hey, how much money are you taking and how much did you leave in the safe? So I think as captains and department heads, we need to mentor each other, to make sure that we're not blowing our money. I
Yeah.
don't think it's not an intrusive type thing, but it's watching out. And I ask my crew, what are you doing? Are you investing in anything? Or I told my chief officer the other day, he's 26, and I said, hey, it's about time you start getting into real estate. I said I was your age when I did. I talk to them about, whoever can have 401ks or IRAs or anything like that. I get in their business and I ask them. But I think it's our job as a good mentor to make sure that we're offering that advice. But I know myself, I invest in real estate, I invest in stocks. And I know Scott, this is your topic. Run with it, man. Let me be quiet. Like run
No,
with it.
that's okay. That's okay. No, I think everything you said was great. That we actually have to give proper guidance to our crew because if I would feel horrible if someone worked with me for 5 years and they walked away with nothing.
They're
You
going to keep
know,
working for you, though. That's a good.
yeah. Yeah, but you can you can put you can put your money away. The best thing to do is get it out of your hands. Put it in if the very at the very least if you put it in some kind of savings account, and just keep it to where you don't have access to it, and then save it up. There's plenty of things to do. First thing you want to do is just figure out a plan. The best advice I had about money was a really good friend of mine that's still a friend. He's a financial advisor. He said, look, always have a time and a purpose. If it's real estate, put that money, like $500 a month is going to go buy a house. $500 a month is going to put into this stock portfolio, or this is going to be my retirement account. So that's 30-year money or whatever, however old you are.
Yeah.
So, no matter what you're doing, just plan it out and then just give yourself a little bit, like, maybe 10% of it, you go and buy some of those things and go have those fun adventures and go have some fun. You don't want to just miser it all away because then what are you really working for? Because you're not really having any kind of quality of life. You definitely want to make sure you always have, 6 months of savings put away at any time as emergency funds. And that's not 6 months of what you spend on the boat. That's 6 months of land costs. Like you got to rent a place, you got to get a car, you got to get a phone,
Yeah.
you got to buy food, because you could be out of work it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when you will be out of work. because this is yachting.
Yeah.
These jobs can go away at any moment, and that's whether it be real estate, stocks, or what have you. Just come up with a plan that works for you. You know, educate yourself as much as possible, and you know, I would suggest you find certain things that you enjoy or certain things you like, and then learn about those companies, learn about that type of real estate, and just go into it and see if it's something you might would like to do. And then put some money aside and keep putting money aside until you have enough, you hit that target, and then you go and keep moving ahead with that.
Yeah, I think and Captain, I think it's Chris Cole or Captain Cole saying long-term investments. I used when I got paid 2,500 when I started out. He'd give himself $500, but same type of advice. So he'd keep the 500, then invest in it.
Yeah,
That 500, but it's very difficult because of I don't know the transient nature of our industry, and the reason why it's a wellness topic for me is financial stress is up there.
yeah,
It's a cause creator of mental stress, which affects your
yes,
physical stress. So all of these wellness things we're talking about are directly related. But as an entrepreneur, Alex, you've taken a huge leap kind of from the yachting community, and now you're out there in the world. And what's the key? Just double down on black, you know?
You've got to do whatever you got to do in the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah,
Yeah, it was. I remember when I first started off, took the leap. I was living off my savings for a few months at a time, and I would often just, you know, be land based for 3 months, then have to go back on the yacht for another 3 months. So I just kept filling the tank. So it was just, I never really built wealth that way in the
yeah,
beginning. It was just maintaining this flow, and eventually it started to kick off. Captain Kelly was a huge supporter of mine when I started during COVID time,
I
when I
was
was
one of
stuck
your first
back in South.
clients.
You were, yeah. You
really?
you
Wow.
helped me get
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Captain Kelly helped me big time, because I was like, do I go back to yachting? I'm stuck here during COVID. I'm not going to go on a yacht anytime soon. I was like, what am I going to do? I had all this time, and I built this platform, and Captain Kelly gave me a shot, and that was fantastic.
Awesome.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, both
nice.
both of you guys have won awards. So Scott, if you ever need any help, let me know.
All
I'd
right.
love
Well,
to
I
work with you
I I
too.
need I need lots of help. Hopefully, you can help me with a whole list of things.
All right.
Sure,
How
I'm
long
sure
have we
you can
got? How
help
long
me
have we
too.
got?
Yeah.
Personal, financial, and everything else.
Yeah.
Wellness too.
Yeah,
Yeah, can do
wellness.
it.
That's why
Don't
I'm
we
here.
all?
I was hoping you guys had all the answers.
No, no, likewise,
I
likewise.
think
Like
combined,
good
we've
advice,
we've
Cap.
all got unique set of answers too, which is great, and
Yeah, it's
it's good to
different from
see.
different areas. For me,
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Financially, I just went to sea. I always just went to sea for a couple of years, do a course, and I was lucky. I kind of invested in a bit of real estate because then I had no option. That money had to get paid monthly.
Yeah,
It was kind of my mindset. It was like that money has to get paid monthly. I have no choice, and hopefully that works and the tree doesn't fall in the house. So
yeah, yeah,
but now with wife and kids, and I'm trying to keep them always, supported.
yeah,
Well, I guess the big takeaway here, Scott, and everyone is maybe there's short and long term goals, or short,
yeah,
mid, long term goals. And if we can put a little bit of a bucket, a bit of water in each, or a little bit of money in each,
yeah,
and just hold the line, that'll eventually the long term goals with dividend reinvestments and whatever you
yeah,
want. Short term goals, so you can buy yourself a car or a set of golf clubs. Medium
yeah,
goals, maybe a deposit on a house or payment of something. So it's
yeah,
important. The
yeah.
next
I
one,
like
Time
what
and a
Scott said. Do
time and
something you're
time and a
interested in.
Yeah, and time and a purpose is most important. You pick the thing. This is a 5 year money, or 5 years I'm gonna have enough for a house. 30 years I'm gonna have retirement. That's the purpose. Retirement, the house, the purpose. It's it's a pretty simple concept, and it's helped me a lot, and I'm hoping it helps everyone else here, because I know myself with Captain Liam and everything, wife and kids and everything. It's
yeah.
well, I get to live here.
The lights are on.
The lights are on. Yeah.
Lights are on,
We're
yeah.
doing good, guys. We're doing
Yeah,
good.
yeah, exactly.
Making
It
it.
still works. You're like, okay, so we've talked about the mental, the physical, the financial, and there's also a shout out there to Yachty Real Estate Investor, and also what's the Instagram for Charles?
The yachting
Oh, the
investor. I was going to
yachting.
mention it for those who want to understand how to get into investing, especially for South Africans. Check out the Yachting Investor. He's got a wealth of knowledge and a great program.
Yeah, great guy.
Yeah, great guy.
Yeah,
Throw his
very smart
details
guy.
at the bottom,
Yeah.
Alex, on in the comments or however that works. Then we
Absolutely.
talk about social wellness, and the reason I kind of came up with these pillars is because what are the things that cause stress, or what are the things that can help reduce stress? Because that's what it's about for me, and that's where wellness comes in. Social wellness is your tribe. It's find your people, and I'm honoured to say the three people that are in this Instagram chat room, they're people I relate to. I connect with you each individually, personally, and professionally, and I value your time. I really do. So I'm
Thank
happy to
you.
call you my kind of social
Likewise.
network or social experiment.
Likewise.
Yeah, man.
And for different reasons, I saw you and I saw Captain Kelly, and you radiate goodness, and your the Yachty Minds Matter, and Captain Scott there, what you do for crew and the calmness you have, and if I get little bits of all of you, I'm a better person. And Alex, you're
We make
positive.
a good gang. We make a good gang. We do. I
Yeah,
think we
Looking
all.
forward to seeing you in Antigua, Captain Kelly.
I know,
Yeah.
but
Oh
Scott
man.
was.
Heard you doing something cool.
Yes, it's gonna be really cool. It's first time, like, yeah, no, it's gonna be really freaking cool. But I want to give
Yeah.
a huge shout out to the two fellas here. I mean, Alex, I mean, we go way back, and but Scott was my hero when I was a baby captain. He was my idol, and it's crazy now. I get goosebumps just right now talking about it because it's like this guy. I remember 16, 17 years ago watching him going, oh wow, I want to be him someday. And then he sends me a message out of the blue one day. And then, you, Liam, like the first time we gave each other a hug, it was like sold. Where's, like you're my brother
yeah.
from another mother,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So no, it's just
So
social networking and how it works on the boat. Those also the crew you work with and that social network. So why? How do you build a social network? What do you do? What's your kind of? Let's go straight to you, Captain Scott, because you do it so well. I'm sure. How do you build that little social network on board or around you, or is there
Well,
professional and personal?
it's both of them, professional and personal. It all starts with like being grateful just for being there. And then if you approach everything with gratitude and add value to try to add value to other people, creating a good dynamic and being around other people gets a lot easier because it's not a transactional relationship. You're there with those people because you want to be there with them and help them and provide the tools they need to succeed. And by them, because the way I always look at it, their success is our success. So,
Yeah.
the more you can build more people up, I've had, I think five first officers now that are all captains now, and I they've gone all over. I'm really proud of these guys, and I want them to go on and teach other people to do the same thing. So that just by inspiring other people, by just being grateful to be there, and not just giving people the opportunity and the tools they need to succeed.
Yeah.
The group cohesion and stuff comes more natural when you're leading with that kind of value.
So the key is just the authenticity, the humility.
yes, that's the word, man.
Yeah.
Humility.
Yeah, it's attractive. I don't know. It's like when you walk into a room and you give gratitude or you help someone else, there's something that comes out. I think all of us in this room have that space. And Alex, yourself, the community you've created on social media and in person, it's extraordinary to see you walk through a room, Alex, and you're vibrant and you catch
I
moments.
love it.
Like when you do it with a camera, which is still to me, I'm like, yeah, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
What I do has allowed me to connect with some of the greatest people in our industry, and all of you are one of those people. I'm grateful to have connected with each and every one of you. Scott, I recently got to connect with you finally in person
Yeah.
during Flips, and
Yeah,
then
that
we
was
ended
cool.
up having a nice cocktail evening at Gary's house on
Yeah, that was
Meridian.
cool.
Great
That
guy
was very cool.
Yeah,
from Meridian.
Gary's a good friend. Known him
Yeah,
for quite some time. He's probably has such a great perspective on because he's also been he owns a crew agency. He was a yacht owner, and when I asked him, I said, well, how do we make it better? How do you make things better
that's
as
his
an owner?
mission.
And he said, it's easy. Just pay people about 20% more, and if we need more
He's
people, we get more people.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
He's a
he's an
smart guy.
advocate for wanting to make the industry better, and he's not
yeah,
worried about the financial aspect. He's like a
oh,
genuinely want to make this better for everybody. Where are
yeah,
the gaps? What are the problems? And I want
yeah,
to I want to be part of the solution and take action instead of just talking about it. I want to take action on it, and he is doing
yeah.
that.
No, he
Yeah,
is.
it's amazing what
It,
he's
That's
doing.
at
that is,
Meridian, correct?
yeah,
Meridian.
Meridian,
Meridian.
yeah,
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I love that.
you know that
meridiango.com.
one of the best things I heard somebody say is as a friend of mine. I won't say their name to call them out or anything. They said, "I'm not here to make yachting affordable because it's not,
Yeah,
nor will it ever be."
yeah. I got one for you. Captain Cole's back. He's on a 112 as captain, and he wants to know. Let's start with Captain Kelly. What are some options out there to become a better manager? So here's someone who wants Captain Cole. He's captain on a 112. I was on a 112 Sea Legend years ago.
Yeah.
Loved it. Like sometimes it's better the smaller boats. I got to admit, enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
But Captain Kelly, what's your tip? We're talking about social wellness, building a cohesive team with a good kind of core values. But what's your kind of tips to someone to become a better manager?
I credit my previous background of being a chemistry professor because learning to manage, a classroom full of however many hundreds of young adults trying to teach them chemistry, which is the scariest subject in the world, I think really prepared me for management. But for me personally, the way the mind works has always interested me. Since I was like a third grader, I was always reading about interpersonal communications. If you just saw my bookshelf, you thought I was a weirdo. But I in this industry as captains, we don't get, I've said it before, 90% of our training pertains to 10% of our job. So we don't get that management training. And so I suggest as often as I can is to self-study. I have tons of books on leaderships. If I can't read a book, I listen to a podcast. If I don't want to listen to a podcast, I Google stuff. Like if I'm dealing with a difficult crew member, I'll literally Google how to deal with XYZ. And then, as the little articles come up in my feed, I'll be like, oh, that looks like a really cool topic. So whether I read 10 minutes a day or whether I read an hour a day, I'm very, very committed to self-study in terms of leadership. And I try different things too. And I tried an approach yesterday that went over like a lead balloon, and I had to apologize to one of my crew members. And I said, sorry, that didn't really work. And she's like, it's okay, try again. you
I do
know?
a joke every Monday morning, 8 o'clock. I do a joke for the crew, and it's horrible. The crew,
Dad jokes. I love your dad
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 jokes.
jokes.
jokes. Oh my
I love
God.
your dad
Yeah,
and I'm
jokes.
like, you know what? I don't know
they're
if
the
you'll get it.
best.
At
What's
least
the
you're
one with
all
this
together.
week?
At least you're
Yeah.
all together not liking my joke, okay? You're all together. That's a start.
But you know what I do in terms of like an everyday thing with my crew? I mean, Captain Cole is a great question. So I read a lot, or watch YouTube videos, or do a lot of self study because we don't get it in classes. Um, but I start our morning off every morning. We it's almost like a laugh session slash roast session where we just all cut up in the crew mess eating breakfast, and our program's growing. And I didn't realize how important it was until my chief stew that was on Cabo went back to Andiamo, and she says, I really miss our laugh sessions in the morning.
Ah,
And
cool.
I knew they were important, but I didn't know they were that important. So
It's the little things.
I might be itching, looking at my clock, going, I need to get started with the workday. But that 20-30 minutes that we spend, you know, you know,
Nonsense, just having a good time.
nonsense,
Yeah,
being
yeah.
stupid, like it means a lot. So yeah.
Amazing.
For
Captain
me,
Kelly,
yeah.
if there was one leadership book that you would recommend to other captains, what would that be?
Well, the one that I'm reading right now, it's kind of a harsh title. It says, Why would anyone want to be led by you?
Oh
Oh,
This
wow.
one that I'm reading right now.
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
I caught the title and I was like, ouch. And I'm like, okay, let me pick this up and read it.
Nice. Any key takeaways you got from it so far?
Not yet. I just started it. I'm
Okay.
only a few pages in. But I mean, honestly, any leadership book,
Yeah.
any one of them. And if you only want to take bits and pieces and a chapter here and a chapter there, when you're busy as a captain or a department head, even if it's 5 minutes, like just self-study that stuff, or or if you want to know why someone reacted a certain way, Google why did XYZ. I mean, like there's amazing stuff out there. Like, so
I've got one that I'd like to share. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's
Oh, that's
that
a
pretty
was
great
it.
one.
popular.
That's
That
a
Yeah.
was,
great one.
Yeah.
yes.
And
I
I've
was,
recommended that to a friend of mine who's a chief officer. I was working with him and I was like, it's really tough to work for you. And I recommend this book. And
Wow, that was
eventually,
ballsy. That's ballsy.
he's a good
Yeah.
friend of mine. Eventually, he listened to it and he agreed. Like, thank you so much. And I could see the difference it's made, and I heard the feedback from his partner as well. So that's one that I refer to over and over again, and highly recommend to anybody, not just the
thank you, because
captains and
that was one
leaders.
I couldn't remember.
That
But
is a
Yeah,
that is a great one.
yeah.
And I Save Our Seas just joined us as well. And what about you, Captain Scott? What kind of leadership tips have you got with five chief officers, two captains? That's probably
My
a record in the industry, I'd say. That's pretty unique.
Well, thank you. I'm really proud of everyone,
Yeah.
and a lot of other crew members have gone on to do a lot of great things and start businesses. And I'd like to think that I'm still available for them, and they still call me if they need things. But for the most part, my skill that I think works the best and helps the best is the ability to listen, like just to sit back and listen to
Yeah.
everyone. Sometimes in the meetings, I don't say anything, and sometimes some people think there's something wrong, but I just tell them I'm just listening. I want to make sure I know what everyone's doing, because you can tell a lot that's going on just by listening. And a lot of times people need to vent, and once you sit back and listen, some people will tell you within the first couple of minutes what they want or what they need, not by their words, sometimes just by their behavior and stuff like that. So listening, I think, is probably the number one thing that I think would help everyone in a head of department. Because a lot of times, I know earlier in my career, I thought, well, this is the way you got to do it, guys. We have to do it this way. But if I listened to the other guys, they might have had better ways to do things that I didn't know about.
Yeah, true, actually. I mean, Gary's just joined us, actually. I just saw him in the group there. He just joined us. So your ears must have been ringing, Gary.
What's happened, Garrett?
For me, it's about being present. And I'm not
Mhm.
sure if it's just because I came off a yoga retreat, but I always really focus really hard on the small details on the boat. Like in our crew mess, you see everyone's picture on the wall, like in different, funny pictures or happy pictures with a Polaroid camera. The crew can stick it up. And then when crew leaves, sometimes people try and take those pictures down. I'm like, no, 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 leave the old crew there. They're part of the journey. Because sometimes they come back, but it's the little things that we've created something as a team that I think is important, but also be proactive, not reactive. The one thing I've learned as a captain, do not react. It is okay. It's all okay. We're all going to end up in a life raft maybe, but on it's going to be,
That's ambitious.
it's all okay. Just keep cool, And we
Yeah, a
should
lot
have
of
more room for Gary to join us. I'd love to hear his take on leadership because
Yeah, he's
really
great.
successful, really successful. So Gary will try and grab you another one. But next, we're going to keep rolling. We've gone through most of the pillars of wellness in my mind. But the last one's special for me because I'm from the ocean. Mother has taught me everything in my life. Mother Ocean and Papa Time. It's an old Rastafari term. But so environmental wellness, and that kind of stems back to not just mental, physical, financial, and social. It's what is around us. We're not just in a wall in a room. We're in this beautiful world that we need to protect. Has anyone seen the Netflix documentary of Jane Goodall?
Yeah, long time ago.
No, no, not documentary. There's a new
new
one.
one, the
The
new
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 one.
one
one.
came out.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's
I
55
haven't.
minutes. It's a documentary, and you love it, Alex, too, of an interview of her that she's releasing, that it only gets released after she's dead. and she just
Oh,
Yeah.
died. Rest in peace. So it's her talking and telling her actual story after she's dead. And she talks about the world and humanity and the importance of the connections to the world. So for me, that's why environmental wellness is one of the pinnacles of my being. What do we do on a boat? Well, we're burning diesel, we're throwing, pollutants, we're
Yeah.
waxing, we're polishing, we're hauling
Yeah.
out. How do we just keep pushing the crew towards being aware when we separate rubbish and then put it into one bin? And they joke at us. I'm like, keep separating, crew, keep separating. So what's some takeaways and what's the benefit of pushing crew towards environmental wellness, and why is it so important? Do you want to start, Alex? Because you're more of the social one.
yeah, environment is everything. It can also, often the environment around you is a good reflection of the state of your mind. Or if
Oh,
you're in a untidy environment, and I've experienced this too, when you tidy up just your immediate surroundings, your mind also gets a lot clearer. And I think what you do with the crew, with the different trash cans, you got the slop bucket, etc., and separating plastics. I think just the practice of that can be transferred later in your life, wherever you may go, and I think that's really good. Plastics is a huge problem. There's something that I want to do and get people together to try and fight this war on plastic, because
yeah.
here in the
The
states,
old model.
there's no real proper recycling solutions. There isn't, or it all just ends up in the same dump at the end of the day. It just makes you feel like you're doing your part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I lived in the Nordics in Sweden, uh, you could take your big plastic bottles and go turn that into cash. You go to the grocery store and you put it through a machine. It scans the barcode and it gives you credit. I haven't seen that in the States yet, and we have the
Yeah.
resources to do that.
Yeah.
So that's something I would love to tackle, and would love to hear your thoughts on that. How do you
Absolutely.
guys
A
tackle
drift.
plastic on board?
Well, don't
Yeah.
don't bring it on. For me, I watch real carefully what comes on. Crew like provisions are here. I'm like, fantastic, yes. And then they show up with plastic bags from Publix. I'm like, nope, not next week. You cannot show up with plastic bags this boat. Nope, no Gatorade plastic bottles by the powder. I'm sorry, guys. Papa's here. He's not happy. Um, but a Drift Film Festival. Have you heard about that, Alex?
Oh yeah,
Captain
of course.
Lee? A
Yeah.
Drift Film Festival is
Yeah.
going to be in Antigua.
No.
I haven't either, Captain Scott, but he reached out this week, so I'm going to have to spend some time learning
That
about it. What is it?
started with Shelton Dupree's, I believe, right?
Ah,
Yeah.
don't know much about it.
Or he was just one of the participants. Otherwise, from Yacht 8 Global, what's his name?
Yeah.
Um,
Who
yeah,
recently passed? Mark Drew. Mark.
yeah.
Yeah.
Drew Low or yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, what about you, Captain Kelly? What's the importance of kind of the environmental wellness around you? Surrounding yourself with good, positive energy, putting some pictures up of the ocean and motivation. How does the environment affect our wellness?
Oh my God, hugely. Well, I mean, we're doing a bit of a design project on the interior, and the designer came to me and she said, I saw that you don't like the drab gray bedding. And I said, no, I need some happy in my life. And I told her when I was in Spain, when we took Cabo on, it was in February, it was freezing cold. I went out and I bought the most brightly colored bedspread that I could buy, because I was spending my time in the room doing paperwork and it was gray.
Yeah.
And so today we just picked out the colors for her to make me a custom bedspread, kind of as a thank you
Oh,
for the project.
Nice.
And she's like, I know your colors. And she picks a bright teal and a bright white. And
yeah.
she's like, it's going to be so awesome. And so when you talk about like your environment, it doesn't necessarily have to be the trees and the mountains. It can
Yeah.
literally be like what's right there, like
What's
your
around you?
office, your bedroom,
Your cabin.
yeah, exactly, your cabin.
Yeah.
And I put my little gifts that crew have bought me up on a shelf. But so in your environment, and for me, being clean, if it's cluttered, it drives me insane. So little things like that. But
Yeah.
I when you get to the grander environment, particularly the ocean, I remind my crew, I said, you do know that this is our paycheck. I
Hmm.
Yeah.
said, this is how we make our money. So maybe you ought to be a little bit more careful with that fishing line. you know, things like that, and garbage and things like that. I'm like this, and I said that to them, a few of them, a few years back. I said, this is how we make our money. We're
Yeah.
sitting on it. And they were like, oh, I never thought of that. And I said, so don't you think we ought to take better care of it? And they were like, point taken. You
I always
know?
say how you treat it is how she's going to treat you back. If you give her a
Yeah.
respect
Well, yeah.
and pick up some rubbish as you go down the dock or help, that's how it's going to treat you back. But if you throw
Yeah.
your oil filters in the bin right near the dock rather than go up and try and look for all your batteries, you just got to try. And there's no end to trying. 1,000 options. Anyway, awesome event. I was just trying to take a picture of us all. I don't know how to do that.
I took a screenshot.
Can you do that, Alex?
Everyone smile.
Did you take it? You there, buddy? Or did we freeze?
I'm here.
Oh, there you go. Froze for a
Take it
second.
again. Now I got myself
Oh,
into the
I froze out for a second.
Yeah, it was
Sorry.
trippy. That was trippy, but we're back
Must
in.
have been the screenshot. At least I got you guys smiling. You frozen the smile, so perfect.
Okay.
Anyway, that's a wrap for this week's Tuesday check-in. Captain Scott, honoured as always. You were
Thank
there
you,
for
guys.
the Tuesday check-in. Alex, Captain Kelly. We want to try and get Captain Kerry involved. We want to try and get Charles involved. We want to keep growing this network. I wish Instagram could have more people into the live rooms, but I'm sure the Instagram man will figure that out. Next week, I want to talk about the work-life balance. So how do you balance that? Alex, I think you've got some first-hand experience come up
I'm
recently.
still trying to figure it out.
I don't.
I got the whole
Kelly, you work
family
with your
now.
partner
It's
on board?
changed everything.
Great, Captain Kelly, you work with your partner on board?
Oh, that could be a whole Instagram live.
Yeah,
Oh.
maybe tell him to go away to the gym for an hour and we can hashtag
Yeah.
How do you date your
real.
right hand man?
That's a work-love balance. That's a work-love balance.
Woo!
That's an interesting topic.
I've got an engineer on board that I've been with for 9 or 10 years, and sometimes I think it's like a marriage. I'm like, all right, Charlie, we need a divorce. But I love that about it. And Captain Scott, you've got 2 lovely daughters up in Orlando. That's a success story. They're close to you. So I want to hear.
Nice.
Whoever's available as well, feel free to join in, ask the questions. Once again, this is not about the kind of views and all that kind of stuff. It's about having the opportunity and reminding people to check in with each other on a Tuesday. I'm going to go call my family in Australia. Alex, big blessing to all your family in Miami and also in the world, your brother. Captain Scott, to your daughters. Captain Kelly, to your partner, and also the dog and all the crew. Wonderful week, everyone. Any final words, Captain Kelly, and then Scott and Alex?
No, like, you guys are great, all 3 of you, and it really is about community. And I can't thank you enough for always including me. I'm grateful for all of you guys. I really am.
Bless.
I'd say thank you to you guys, and I look forward to the next one. Very
Me
grateful to have been
too.
here. Grateful to have been here. Thank you guys.
Always. And Alex?
Special thanks to all of you, especially you, Captain Liam, for always pushing to a higher purpose and grander vision. Whenever you say, let's try this, I'm like, yes, let's go for it. So
Yeah, you keep saying
thank-
yes, Alex. I'm like, why are you keep ideas?
I keep saying yes and I never regret it.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm like,
big
instead
thanks
of
to you.
yoga for an hour, I'm like, I could talk to good friends here than do yoga for an hour. So any excuse now.
Yoga's great. I enjoy yoga.
Yeah,
It's
I
good
do
for the
too.
body
It's
and
great.
the
Yeah,
mind.
I'm getting there. It's just the poses, like you're saying, like left foot left, left, right, hold it high, Lee. I'm like, oh, I lost it. I'm on the floor, you know?
Takes
Have
time.
a good week, everyone. It's about the community. It's about each other.
Thanks.
It's about Mother Ocean and Papa Time. And thanks, everyone, for joining. Any questions, let us know.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for those.